Welcome to the Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun.
It's so annoying when you're listening to it and
hit your mouth and then back up a little.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hit your teeth and then back up. That
back
works.
up a little bit.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, we have guests
evening.
yet again.
We have guests today.
So Drew is here for the fifth
time, I think.
Oh, Kevy, he just surpassed you.
Oh, no,
my
I was listening
gosh.
to the Foxhole episode, and I was hearing you talk to Kevin. I'm like, no, that is not acceptable. Because we've got the other fan favorite. We've got Bree, who's my competition as well.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if Bree's coming back on, I need to call Meredith. I need to get back on the Clopen Effect.
Bree needs to come back on and talk about childbirth on anxiety.
Oh, my gosh.
She's due pretty soon.
Yeah.
But we also have Drew's mama here. Hi, Judy.
Hey.
What's left of her, right? Is that
Yes,
how you
yes.
introduced her? You want to introduce
Yeah.
her again, Drew, to
So
everyone?
this is my wonderful mother, who is now missing 200 pounds, just about.
212.
212 pounds. So very, very proud of her.
Congratulations. How are you feeling?
I feel wonderful.
Good. It's been how long? 2 years? 3 years?
A little over 2.
Little over
Yeah.
2.
Yes.
Wow. And I said, do you want a drink? And you said, nope, I had my smoothie, my
I'm
snack,
good. I'm
right?
good. Can't have anything for half an hour.
Oh, my gosh. And you just get too full feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
It's weird getting a kiddie meal, and she's like, I can't finish this.
Yeah.
I
I
seriously
I
had that
can.
problem.
Yeah.
I
Like,
could eat like 3 kitty meals.
yeah, I could do like
Shit.
a chicken nugget if I scrape the coating off and
Yeah.
Wow.
pat it. Like, I can't eat that much. It's
That's
too much.
wild.
So before you decided to do this 2 years ago, did you have to go through some sort of training, doctor visits? Like how did you
Yes.
learn how to eat protein and
Yes.
all that? Can you share that a little bit with
Okay.
us?
Well, you have to go, the program, there's a specific program. So I had to have
Oh.
12 dietary visits with the dietitian. And you don't have to start eating like this, but I decided instead of going cold turkey, I would start easing myself into it. Like I used to go to Dunkin', get an extra large coffee, fully loaded with tons of sugar, tons of creamer, tons of flavoring.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, right.
So now I just totally, like, I don't do cream, I don't do fats, I don't do fried foods, I don't do any of that stuff.
Wow.
No bakery stuff. I make like baked goods for our church bake sale, but I don't eat them because I can't.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm always happy to quality test them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he,
of course.
So
yeah.
he
Quality
qual-
assurance.
So he
Yeah.
quality controls it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want to take bad food to the church. So
Yeah.
Sure. I remember years and years ago, I was trying to stay away from sugar, and it was a year that my sister-in-law had asked me to make a bunch of toffee as gifts.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
So I remember putting it like a piece in my mouth to make sure it was good, chewing it up and spitting it out. I'm like, what are you doing? Just
Yeah.
enjoy yourself. But I did it for a reason, just as you are
Yep.
too. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then do you have to take a lot of vitamins now?
I take a ton of vitamins.
Yeah,
So I
right.
have a specific multivitamin that has iron in it. And then I do take a few extra, like I take biotin
Okay.
because my hair was falling out like by handfuls.
Yeah.
So
after,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
like
after.
the past couple years.
Oh, yeah. It's finally, I think I finally can maybe go and get my hair cut now that it's grown enough that I can
Oh,
get
no
it cut.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what
it-
is that from? Did the doctors tell you?
Well, it was from the my body stabilizing with the vitamins
Okay.
and everything.
Okay.
So, and then I take vitamin D and I take, what else do I take? Oh, probiotic and stuff.
Oh,
So,
sure.
Yeah, just, so I'm just always taking.
Keep your gut health, yeah.
That's right, so.
Yeah.
So what have you noticed that you do now that you didn't do 2.5 years ago? Like, what are the benefits of everything that you've been going through?
Well, I can breathe when I'm walking.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not short of breath. I mean, I used to just even walking in like from my car to your front door, I would have had to stop and rest.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Because I would be like breathing. Drew will attest to that. Like we have 3 steps in the church when there I help, and I would be like
It'd be tough.
gasping for breath
Oh, wow.
to be able to go up 3 steps.
And now you just walked from the car to downstairs here to
perfectly
around
fine.
and
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, it
No
was no problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can carry on a conversation when I'm walking with somebody. It's not a problem. Yeah.
So if there's anyone thinking about doing this, and to like follow a plan and to meet with doctors, what would you tell them?
I would definitely tell them to do it.
Yeah.
But I tell other people when they're thinking about it, I said, you have to be in the right mindset,
Yeah.
because then that's why I think I've been more successful, because I went into it with the right mindset. You have to be physically ready to change, mentally and emotionally. You have to come to terms with food. Like, you have to understand that can't be your best friend anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I was an emotional eater. If I was upset, I was angry, I was whatever, I would eat. I instantly would go to food and shove it in my mouth.
Sure.
I don't do that anymore. Now I know that I have to eat to fuel my body, but I still never feel hungry, like, ever.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of what's great for your program too is you have the support system, because you have what?
Yeah.
Weekly or bi-weekly?
We have a monthly like group support, and then once a month we have a guest speaker that sometimes it's a doctor. Well, it is a doctor, but it's different kinds of
Different,
doctors.
yeah, sure.
So
Different specialties.
Like we have a plastic surgeon that spoke. We've had a podiatrist. There was a bariatric psychologist that works with the program. But yeah, I definitely.
What about like your joints?
Oh yeah, my knees do not hurt. Like, I used to be like in pain. I thought I was going to have both my knees replaced and probably my hips. And
That's
Wow.
scary.
like, I don't have my knees, even after I lost like 25 pounds.
You were feeling better.
Much weight even off my knees felt so much better. Yeah, I mean, I used to have back pain, hip pain, knee pain, everything. Like,
Wow.
I was just like, I'm falling apart.
And that's kind of what they always call your off scale, right?
Yeah.
Your little
Yeah.
off scale
my
victories.
non-scale
Oh,
victories.
sure.
Non-scale
sure,
victories. I would have to say my first non-scale victory was the first time I could get into the car, pull the seatbelt, and not have to pull it all the way. Now, and I used to have the seat all the way back. I could barely touch the pedals because my stomach was hitting the steering wheel. Now I have to scoot it up because I can't reach.
Now you're like this.
Now I'm driving like this, 10 and 2, 10 and 2. And I have to put the seat all the way up. So when Drew gets in, I have to make sure I push it back, or he like can't.
I didn't
crawl
used to
in
have
the
that
door.
problem. It was great.
Then he can't crawl in anymore. So now he has to adjust it. But
Yeah.
no, it's just like so much better. And I can find like clothes and not have to like, I get a choice.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, I don't have to look and like, well, there's this color. Which one do I
Yeah.
want?
Oh, you were limited, huh?
And then you
Oh,
liked
really?
that color, and then they didn't have it in your size. And you're like, damn it.
Exactly. Well, yeah. And, you know, other than a few places, most places would charge extra for the bigger
For a
sizes.
larger
Oh,
size.
sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it was something like the sale price would say it was 15 and it was really like 25 for me because
Yeah.
the extra sizes.
Sure.
And so, yeah. But now I just wear the T-shirts that I used to wear that I fully filled out. They're nightshirts now. They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
dresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightgowns,
Well, at least
now
you
they're
still get
nightgowns.
use out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got your moo-moo on?
I do. I have a tie-dye moo-moo.
Perfect.
Tie-dye moo-moo.
Can you just share some of your favorite snacks now?
Probably strawberries and
Oh,
like
yeah.
fruits.
Oh, yeah.
Love fruits. I know Drew doesn't like vegetables, but my favorite lunch now, because it's warm, is spinach salad. I love spinach salad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I put like chicken on it, or I'll put like some strawberries or
Yeah.
blueberries I put on it.
And what was the dressing? I know you commented on the
Skinny Girl.
Oh,
skinny girl
Love it.
dressing.
The poppy seed is my favorite.
Poppy seed,
Okay.
that's right. I know I
It's
saw
like
you
poppy
comment on
seed
that.
dressing.
It's
yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it tastes good when you have the fruit on there with
Yeah.
it. So.
Perfect.
Do you have a certain protein shake or smoothie, or do you make them yourself?
Well, I usually get whatever's on sale, but my favorite ones would have to be the Premier
Oh, yeah.
chocolate ones. I love those. I know a lot of other people in the group, they like the Fairlife, but I'm
Okay.
not a fan of it.
No.
But I just get whatever, like the store
Yeah.
brand, even like
Well, I heard a
Yeah.
lot of people have commented that Fairlife is very expensive.
it is
Oh,
very
is it?
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
why I usually just get the store
But you
brand.
also have to think you're not buying
Exactly.
as much groceries.
Exactly. But can you
Right.
justify a $5
Right.
protein shake?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so
sure.
that's why I pack my lunch. So like I'll go to the store on Saturdays, I come home, I clean my fruit, I make my salads up. I have my little containers, and I either measure, you know, like sometimes I put deli meat, but otherwise I usually just use the pouches of the chicken or tuna.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Because they're already portioned. I already know what's in
Yeah.
them, how many grams of protein, and there's different apps that you can record your food on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm real old school. I write everything down.
Yeah.
I have a binder and I write it. Drew, he'll tell you.
She's not kidding. She's got like day 743.
How many,
Oh.
whatever
something
days I'm
out.
on. Yep. And yep.
She was actually filling it out
Amazing.
before we came here.
Yeah,
She was
I
writing
was
all of
writing
her
it down. Yep.
everything she eats
Anything
every
I
day.
shove in my mouth gets put on there.
Yeah.
And then does someone look at it, or is that just for you
No,
for your
it's
record?
just for me. And then, I mean, and if I try something new and I'll go back like, oh, I was feeling kind of crappy a couple days ago. And then it's like, oh, wait, I tried something different. And I have to ease new foods into.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because if I try like to eat and I still, like my dad has raised beef all his life. I cannot. I used to love to eat steak and roast
Yeah.
beef and hamburger.
Can't do it
Eat
now.
It makes me sick.
I feel like a lot of
Makes me
people
sick.
who have had
It's very heavy.
Yeah.
It's very heavy on my
Yeah.
stomach. I can't eat it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have said that have had the surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do pork, but it has to be just a little bit. But chicken and fish are fine.
Yeah.
Or cheese. I love cheese. I can eat cheese. That's fine.
Really?
We have
Cheese
so
sticks.
much cheese
Yeah,
we keep in the house.
cheese
I love
sticks,
cheese.
yeah.
I
It's
have a lot
great.
of cheese in my house
Yeah,
also.
I buy the shreds.
It's the Midwest.
Yep, I get
Yeah.
them and put them in the freezer. Yep.
Yeah.
And then like it took me a long time to be able to eat an egg too.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of protein. You want to like those and
Yeah.
be able to eat those.
Yeah, but
I was
every
just
time
happy
I
when you got back
tried
to real food.
Yeah, every time. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because I
She
was on.
she would
baby
literally
food.
eat a container of
that's
baby
right.
food. She's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm full.
Yeah,
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 that's
and,
wild.
and it wasn't like the toddler. This was like the first foods. Those tiny little jars
Yeah.
that got like what 2 ounces in it.
Yeah.
I could.
And that's
eat
what you
that.
started with?
That's what I started with, and I was stuck on that for.
Oh my gosh, and that's wild. And you would be
Months.
full off of that. I can't even
Yeah.
imagine that.
I think there
You
were some
know-
days she couldn't even finish it.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, there was some days I couldn't finish.
I
it,
feel
yeah.
like people in the U.S.,
Mm-hmm.
we eat like it's Thanksgiving every day. We have
Yeah.
to eat until we are so full.
Our portions are so big.
I
yeah.
can't say how many people say, no, I can't eat for lunch because if I eat lunch, I'm just not going to want to do anything after that. I'm one of those people sometimes, you know?
Yeah, and I do know I used to like, I would just eat till my plate was empty.
Empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, even if I like portion out what I'm eating, and if I start feeling full, even if it's 2 bites, I don't eat it. I throw it away. Like I'm not going to try and shove it
Yeah.
in my body because
Right.
it ends up coming right back up, and I end up
Oh.
being
Yeah.
miserable. I like my stomach hurts.
Yeah.
My shoulder blades. Like I couldn't believe when they said, "Oh, you're going to get like shoulder pain if you start having gas or feeling sick to your stomach." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "What do you?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I felt like somebody was stabbing me between my shoulders.
That's wild.
like that's how
wow.
bad it hurt. And I'm
Usually
like,
that's after surgery when they blow you up so they can see
well,
all
that,
your
well, that,
insides.
well, that too.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I've
just
gotten to where
happens.
I've been too full and I kind of push myself, and then I'll just start getting that shoulder pain.
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
No, I'm done. I'm done
Gosh.
because then I
Yeah.
know what's coming after that. If I push it, and even just to eat 2 more bites of food will
So-
like, put me over the limit.
I'm not sure what surgery you had.
I had gastric bypass.
Okay.
Yep.
So they basically cut off part of your stomach,
And
closed
sutured
it
off. Yep.
up, and then just connected that to
Yep.
your intestine,
Yep,
right?
Yep. So my stomach's
So
smaller.
eventually, will that get bigger where you can eat a larger meal, or do you feel like what you're eating now is sufficient?
If I keep, like if I eat and start eating more than I should and just slowly, it will slowly
Okay.
stretch my stomach
Yeah,
out. And that's
yeah.
what I'm afraid of now. Like, because
And that's how a
I've
lot of
hit
people
the
usually
goal.
gain it back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the doctor did tell me 30 to 35% of people will gain their weight back.
Yeah.
And I'm so afraid I'm going to be one of
Right.
those. And he's like, I'm not worried about you at all. You're so rigid and strict
Yeah.
with yourself. I'm
well,
not
that's,
worried
because
about
I
you at
wonder,
all."
like, I mean, obviously you can't survive off of one jar of baby food,
Right.
Per
Yeah,
meal. So,
yeah.
like, you have to be able to get enough nutrients
Right,
inside of
right,
you, right?
right.
And that's why you take vitamins and stuff to
Yeah.
supplement that, right?
Yeah,
So,
because
okay.
now, like, I'll make like a salad, but
Yeah.
like because the fruits and vegetables don't fill me up as much as what the protein does. But
Yeah.
we're supposed to eat the protein first, then the vegetables, then go to the carbs. So I don't eat
think she's eaten pasta in 2 years.
Yeah.
like a bite here, a bite there, or same with
Right.
rice. Like if I put it in a measuring cup, it might be like a total of a half a cup to 3/4 a
Right.
cup of pasta and rice together that I've eaten.
Yeah.
Like Drew will make something and I might eat a noodle
Yeah.
to taste it.
Well, you don't want to have to pay for it either.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, your
Right.
body's going to get mad
I
at
just
you.
keep
and
joking
it's-
with her. She's a
Right.
terrible Italian. She
Yeah.
can't eat pasta.
I know I can't eat pasta anymore. I can't eat pizza because, well, I mean, I could, but
But the
can't
end
eat
goal
very
is
much
so
of it.
worth it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
and-
very restricted, or
and-
you're very
yeah.
strict on yourself,
Yeah.
but it's so worth
We
it.
can go
because-
bike riding
Yeah,
now.
you
Yeah,
can go bike
and
riding,
and I just don't want to get that taste. Like, can I have a cookie or
oh,
something?
sure.
Yes, I can, but I don't want to get that taste in my mouth because I'm afraid one bite will turn into two, turn into
Yeah.
three, turn into a whole cookie, a half a dozen. Then I'm eating a whole freaking
Yeah.
cake.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we are.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
yeah,
how I am.
I just choose not to do that.
Right.
She
And
gives
does-
it to me instead.
And it doesn't it doesn't bother me if somebody's eating in front of me. Like, it's fine. Doesn't
Yeah.
bother me at all.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you
well,
have
that's
that mind,
huge.
very
Yeah.
strong mindset.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But it's like I did Weight Watchers like 6 times, and I had lost over 100 pounds 6 times. And every time I said that, I said, well, I lost it. I misplaced it, but it found me.
Yeah.
And I worked way too hard to get rid of this, to go back to that. Like, I don't like even, so I try not to weigh myself more than maybe once, twice a week,
Yeah.
because I was getting very obsessed with it at first.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I gained, like half a pound. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So now I just try to, because your weight does fluctuate a lot.
Right.
So I try to just kind of keep within the number that I know I want to be at. And now when I renew my license, I can go in and say, you need to change that weight.
Yeah.
Because, man, that says I weigh 50 pounds more than I literally don't weigh that much anymore. Yeah.
Incredible.
Like it's way heavier than I am.
You actually
so.
don't have to lie on your driver's license.
I do
now.
not have to lie.
Like we all
Mine's
do.
I was gonna say mine's definitely a lie right
Well,
now.
I might
So is
say
mine.
I weigh a little less than the number I'm going to give
Yeah.
them, but it's going to be a little more ballpark closer than
Yeah.
what this number is.
Yeah, good.
What is your goal? Do you have any more, or are you done? Losing weight?
I just want to maintain
Maintain
this,
now.
Yeah.
maintain,
Great,
and
great.
then
So you're
I-
gonna start doing runs with Meredith now, right?
Oh, sweet.
Oh, God.
I will hike and walk all day long with
I
you
don't
if you'd
run.
like.
Walking.
If I'm
Slow-
running,
slow-
y'all
You better
better
keep
run
up.
too.
That's
Yeah.
true. There must be something, a bear or
Yeah.
something behind me, because I
Something's
don't run
chasing
for
me.
nothing.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
walk.
One more
fast, but yes.
question. What decision? How did you make the decision of how to do it? Because there are a couple different ways,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Why
Well,
was that your decision?
To do the one that I did is because I had acid reflux. I used to get heartburn so badly, like I could drink water and I get heartburn.
Oh, okay.
Really bad heartburn. And the doctor told me, he's like, I'm not going to tell you can't have sleeve, but the bypass would be better because that will get rid of your heartburn. I'm like, okay, sign me up for that one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And-
it did. Besides,
it
if
did.
you eat a little too much, you eat a little
Yeah,
in the back or something.
Yeah,
But
then I also just kind of have to watch like spices and stuff. But I
Sure.
never could really handle that before
oh,
anyway.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And and the one thing Drew will tell you, so when going to have the surgery, yeah, this will make this you'll laugh. So I go in to have the surgery.
Exactly
He's
where this
with
is
me,
going.
and the doctor says, okay, your mom might become a little more sensitive to things such as alcohol. Her tolerance will be lowered. He's like, I didn't know it could be any lower than 0. He got a good laugh out of that. He looked
We
me
joke
in
that
the-
she
and I
can
said,
just smell the cork now, and she's
yeah,
done.
yeah. If he makes a really strong drink across the room, I'm like, yeah, I gotta leave. I'm a little lightheaded here.
Because I think it's genuinely like a single beer would put you over the limit now, right?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
probably.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I
It's-
didn't
it's
even think of
her
that.
because her stomach's so much smaller.
That's-
Yeah.
It'll double to triple, I think, her
Oh my
BAC per
gosh.
drink.
Oh, because
Stomach-
it just absorbs it so
Yeah,
much
my
faster being smaller.
stomach is
Yeah.
the size of an egg. So you think about putting a shot of alcohol in an egg.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's going to fill your stomach.
And you think drinking on an empty stomach, she can't have anything else in her stomach
Right.
and fit the drink.
Right.
So
Yep.
Oh, and that's why you if you drink, you have to wait a while to eat, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I have to. so
She
I have
doesn't
to
drink.
wait. Well,
Well, I mean,
like
drink
water.
Oh,
liquid,
yeah.
anything.
So
yeah.
like
yeah.
when I eat, then I have to wait at least a half an hour because they don't want you to drink something to flush the nutrients out of
Okay.
your stomach. They want it to absorb and then
Yeah.
naturally.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
So besides the
wild.
shoulder blades, any other like complications or anything else that is happening? Nothing. Wow, that's
I've been lucky. I mean, honestly, I know a few
do they have
friends
you
that
in
they've had
books and stuff with the
No,
doctors? Like,
no,
here is
no.
the perfect patient.
No. But I do see my surgeon all the time. I work at the
You
same
work there.
facility that he's at, and I see him all the time, and he tells me how proud he is of me. And I
Aw.
thank him every time I see him for literally saving my life
Yeah.
because I don't think I would still be here if I wouldn't have had the surgery because I think by now I would have either had a heart attack or when I went in to have before I had the surgery, one of the tests they do is they check to see if you're diabetic. I was borderline diabetic.
Yeah.
And diabetes runs in my family, and heart problems run in my family.
I
So,
was gonna say blood pressure's lower.
Yep,
So
yep.
not,
Oh gosh, yeah, it's totally
It's not
not just the weight.
Yeah,
it's everything
it's not
else,
the number
right?
on the scale. It's everything that went along
Yeah.
with it.
Right, I can breathe.
You can bring laundry upstairs.
I used to have to like walk it down the stairs and walk it up the steps, and then I'd have to rest part of the way because my laundry's in the basement. So I would have to rest. I put it in there and rest a couple minutes on the step, and then I could walk up, and then I could have to rest when I got there. And it was just now, I mean, I don't run, but I can go down the stairs pretty fast, up and down, doesn't bother me.
She cheered the first day she got to the
Yeah.
top.
Oh, I'm
She
sure
wasn't
I
out of
probably
breath.
would have cried.
I
yeah.
was.
I think she did that too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I've been, I don't know, I think I'm more emotional too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
doing
well,
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like every day there's
Your
a milestone.
hormones,
you
Yeah,
just
big
out,
changes.
Yeah,
so
a lot to be proud of.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I got to
absolutely.
watch her first bike crash in 30 years.
Oh, true. Don't sound so
No,
proud.
but it was though.
But I took a picture and I'm like,
Yeah.
I have never in my life seen my mother on a bike
yeah.
because she hadn't been able to ride a bike in
I
30
had
years.
never
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
able to.
And she could actually go out and ride a bike,
But,
and it was really
but
exciting.
I tipped an adult tricycle.
Which
oh no,
You know,
are
my neighbor's
actually
mom
less
did it too,
stable
so-
than a
That's
bike.
hard.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
hard. It's
They're
harder than
weird.
you think.
Yeah.
And but I got off the road too much, and then I just boop.
boop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She just
yeah.
got a little nervous. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I didn't walk it back. I did ride it back up the driveway.
Good job.
Very slowly, but then it was
we
like,
have a very
that's
steep
it.
driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, that's it. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got me a helmet and everything.
Helmet, knee
Helmet, shoulder
pads,
pads, knee
arm
pads,
pads, you know.
everything. I'm ready.
One big bubble. Just put her in a big bubble.
Give me the Michelin Man suit. I'll
Yeah.
be ready.
That's funny.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks for
you.
joining us.
Good
too.
job,
Yeah. Next,
Next.
how's your weight loss, Drew?
I work across the street from Culver's, and I have a cheese curd addiction. I know the entire staff on a first name basis.
Yeah.
I went to Steak and Shake today and had grilled cheese. So sorry, Judy,
No,
but
that's
yeah,
okay.
I feel guilty about
It's
it.
weird, but and that's the thing. Like, it took a while getting used to with her. Is like, I still eat like I always ate,
Yeah.
and it's in
Yeah.
front of her, and I have like this platter in front of me, and she's got like a kid's meal. Or like we'll go out to eat, and we have to like apologize to the waitress, and we're like, we swear the food is good. She's like, I just physically can't eat
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she ate like we'd get it like a 3 taco dinner with rice and beans, right?
Yeah.
She would eat half of a taco and be
Yeah.
like, "Can I get a box?"
Right.
Yeah.
And the
right.
waitress, we're like, "We swear it's good." She just
Yeah.
literally
I just-
can't eat
I'm
anymore.
full. I can't eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went through the drive-thru at the Culver's today. I gave them my card. They sent me the total. I gave them my card. They looked at me and they said, "Oh, here's your new total. I didn't know it was you. I put your discount on it."
Oh my
I get the friends and
gosh.
family discount
Get
at the
out.
Culver's across the street from where I work.
I need to go there more often.
It's a
Shoot.
little bad. I keep the flavor of the day calendar on my desk because I only let myself go once a week. So I got to make sure whatever flavor, like whatever the best flavor is that week, that's the day I
Oh,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So today was dark chocolate peanut butter crunch.
Ooh.
So there's a
Oh, that's
pint
one
of
of my
custard sitting
favorites.
in the freezer at my work.
Perfect. I like your Sandy Dog shirt.
Yes,
I
yes.
know.
I'm very excited. It's the Palace Bowl, I think.
Yes, she is
I've been
going to
following
be
her.
there.
She's gonna have a permanent location. I'm really
That
excited.
is- yeah.
I apologize for the Sandy Dog shirt, but I literally cannot find any of my Clopens.
Yeah.
So where can I go online to purchase a new Clopen
I
one?
probably have
Zazzle.
one for you upstairs.
I
I'll
will
give it
happily
to you.
purchase and
we
support
need to tell
local
people
business.
where they can go.
Where-
They can
where
go
can
on
I go?
Zazzle.
It's
Drew's
on
a guest.
Zazzle.
Yeah, it's
Zazzle,
on Zazzle.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Drew's
like
a
I got,
guest, so.
I got my new car and I need to get my Clopen stickers on my car, right? Because my Volkswagen had them, so I got to be repping.
Do you need the vinyls? Because I have the vinyls here too.
I don't know because this one isn't a hatchback,
Okay.
so I don't know what's going to work best for it.
All
So
right.
I'll have to
All
look.
right.
Put it on your side window.
Yeah.
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 But I
Or
don't
your
like
wiper
drive
doesn't
around
count.
touring
The
a ton
wiper.
with it
Yeah.
So I think I've
I don't
heard
have a
some
rear
of
wiper.
this. Oh,
No.
it-
Oh well.
because it's a.
Yeah.
he has a new
trunk
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen
Well,
my
yeah,
new Honda
yeah.
right?
Last time
Oh,
you were
yeah.
here.
Oh,
with
yeah,
my
yeah,
gangster trunk,
Yeah.
my
yeah.
6.5 body trunk.
Yeah. Right.
Chevy stopped making the Impala, so now the Accord is the largest commercial trunk on the market.
Oh.
You know what
according
the
to the dealer.
funniest video is the police officers that go to the woman's house and they say, "Hey, are you like a hairdresser or something?"
I love that video.
Have you seen that?
No.
And
Yes.
and she's like, "No, why?" And he said, "Well, the neighbors called on something suspicious on your trunk. There's some hair hanging out." And she goes, "Oh my God, that's my weave."
Oh, jeez.
I bet there was a dead
But
body
the way
in
that
there.
she does it, you have to
Yeah,
look it up
it's-
if you
it's
haven't
amazing.
seen
I'll
it. It's
have to look it up.
amazing.
All
And
your
they-
algorithms will pull it up now.
Yeah.
For you.
Yes,
It's fine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
now that
And the
we talked about
officers
it.
start start laughing. It's just the
that's
most
funny.
innocent but
That is
funny,
so
funny
funny.
video. Yeah,
So I
funniest
think
video.
I need to change my Clopen tracker from how many times poop is mentioned to how many times the algorithm is
Oh
mentioned.
my
Yes.
god.
Because you're always
Yes.
talking the TikTok trends. You're like the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to start tracking that now.
Yeah,
for you.
we matured. We matured over
I'll
these
have to
3.5
re-listen to the
years.
last 170 episodes again.
How many poops are we up to?
I don't know.
Really?
My
You stopped
ri-
tracking?
So the reason I stopped driving the Volkswagen is it got flooded, and inside the flooding of it was the journal where I tracked everything. So I lost all of the count.
No.
Wait,
I
how
have
did
to
it
go back and
flood?
there's a problem with the moonroof that it doesn't drain properly. So
Oh.
anytime it rains, all that water leaks into my car. When I found out about it was when I had 3 inches of standing water in my floorboards.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I
And
remember.
it's still in litigation, so I can't get it fixed.
Oh, so it's just outside getting rained on.
I have a cover over the car now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that there's drains in the bottom of your doors that you're supposed to drain every once in a
I've
while?
seen those videos. They don't. They actually fill those with water to show you in the video.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you just have false information on TikTok?
Fake news.
Oh my goodness.
It's fake news.
Yeah.
It's like Google, you can't believe
But
it.
I know. What the hell?
but of course, I know I don't have wine and chocolate this time. I apologize.
That's
That's
okay.
okay.
I'm really excited
But
to hear about
we're all
it.
dieting
know
now.
I know that Meredith is here, and she had one request for me for when I go diving in the ocean.
Yep.
So just for Meredith,
She has her hand out.
I
Gimme,
brought her
gimme,
a
gimme.
shark.
A what?
Isn't he cute?
Not a real one. Oh, it's like made of like stone.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
it's actually a
gosh.
magnet. There's the little square on the bottom,
Oh,
so it's a
yeah,
little
yeah,
fridge
yeah, yeah.
magnet.
Oh,
But
thank
there
you.
there is your Filipino nurse shark.
From Bohol, Philippines.
Yes, so that
Bohol, Philippines.
so Philippines, right,
Very
is just
cute.
a series of islands, right?
Yes, yes.
The island I was on specifically was the island of Bohol, in the region of Anda specifically. But they have a 14-kilometer coral reef. Absolutely
Wow.
amazing.
I don't know what a kilometer is, so
Ask the runner next to you.
how much
Oh,
is
me.
a
Well,
kilometer?
5K is 3.1, so then you
Yeah.
can do the math from
so
that.
14.
And then
I'm too busy looooking at my shark. I'm sorry.
Meredith gets a shark. Cass gets 100.
What? You brought me money?
It's
I love
Monopoly
foreign money.
Wow.
Get out. I didn't know I was going to get something.
So there you go.
That is so
How much is that worth?
cool.
About $2.
That is so
But it's 100.
cool.
It's
Yeah,
100.
so,
Wow.
But you can feel rich
my
when
my
you
conversion rate the day I
Yes.
was in the airport, it was I think 58 peso to the dollar. So that's like $1.80.
Get out. Thank you.
Can I see that?
I
That is
love
really
foreign
neat.
money.
Cool. Aren't they cool?
It's
Would you like a
cool.
Korean won as well?
Absolutely. I have money from Costa
we'll
Rica,
keep
which is
adding
really
some
cool.
extra zeros to you here.
Who is this on here?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
see that.
Look
Oh
at that.
So
my
there's
gosh,
a
this was
1,000 for you.
1,000. Okay, I'll tell
Republica.
you. When I went to Costa Rica,
Filipinas.
they have colones.
Mhm.
And so how much is this worth?
That is maybe 50 cents for that
Okay,
one.
so and you said this one's like maybe $2,
Yeah.
$1.50, $2. So a $5 bill, it was 5 million.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It felt
my gosh.
so weird walking around because when I stopped in Seoul, I was walking around with 100,000 won in my pocket.
Yeah.
It was $80.
Yeah.
Like, it just blows your mind. I was at a
Right.
Starbucks ordering, which first of all, they have the cutest fucking Starbucks ever.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the picture I posted, it's just like this brownie with chocolate mousse on it, and then they have like little chocolate to turn it into like a teddy bear. It was the most
adorable.
adorable
Oh
thing.
my
It's
God.
too cute to eat it.
I'm like,
No kidding.
don't do
US
anything
Starbucks
fun
needs to
here.
up it, but like Korean culture is obsessed with cutesy.
Yes,
they
they
do
are.
any and all
Yes.
things cutesy. And so it's
Smells like
not.
money.
Does it smell like
Smells
money?
like money.
Yes.
Sorry,
It's
I'm
not
smelling
Canadian
it.
money.
does,
It doesn't smell like maple
but-
syrup.
It does kind of smell like our money.
Yeah, no, it does.
It's probably 'cause
got
it's
the
been in
same
my
paper.
wallet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
It's the cocaine.
It made it
Just
through TSA.
joking.
Let it go. Let it go.
Joking. I don't know what cocaine smells like.
So, but like I was at the Starbucks. I got a chocolate milk and this teddy bear brownie, and they're like, "Oh, it's 12,000." I'm like,
You're like,
"What?"
hold on.
I know Starbucks is expensive, but
Yeah.
what?
You're like, hold on. I only have 100,000.
Can you tell Steve that so every time I go to Starbucks, he doesn't give me a hard time? In the Philippines, it's 12,000.
And so like there's this such big like price discrepancy. Like so the Philippines, if you're in like the tourist resort, right? Everything's beautiful.
Yeah.
You walk outside the gate, which is armed with a shotgun armed security guard
Yeah.
24/7, and then you just like step into poverty
Yeah.
as soon as you walk
Oh,
outside the
wow.
gate. It is just the most drastic difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we stopped at a bakery while we were on our way to the dive shop. We stopped and we got 2 brown paper bags full of pastries. And when I say pastry, it's probably like the size of this coaster is 1 pastry.
Okay.
And
3 by 3 maybe.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm bad at measurement. So I
2
mean,
by
it's
2.
about that size,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we get these 2 paper bags full of it. And we go, how much is this? And they go, 60 peso. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
And she's like, it's 5 apiece. And we're like, no.
You're like, I just paid
Here-
$12,000 for
we're like,
Starbucks.
well, this
Yeah,
was in
exactly.
this was still in the Philippines.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Philippines,
Okay.
yeah.
And
okay.
so we're like, no, we're gonna give you 100. Please keep the change. We cannot pay you $1
Yeah. For,
for
all of
2
this.
bags of
Mhm.
pastries.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they were phenomenal, fresh baked that morning with fresh pineapple fruit in it. Like they literally like had cut up a pineapple to bake into the stuff.
Stop.
Because it would be like it was like the size, the 3 by
Size
3,
of the
2.5 by
coaster,
right,
yeah.
size of the coaster, but it had the pineapple ring on the inside, and then it had like this little basket handle woven on top
Get
of it that baked in
out.
it, and that was 5 peso, so
What?
10 cents for that.
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
no, we cannot pay you that. We cannot do that.
Wow. Were
'Cause,
they
like-
appreciative?
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And so when you're in the resort, they'll happily charge you what Americans expect to pay.
Yeah.
But when you're out and about and in the city, you rent a tuk-tuk, which is the most ridiculous mode of
Yeah.
transportation for a 6.5 foot person to go
That
on it,
is
right?
so. You're like hugging the guy.
There were some times where I had to shift my weight around on it so the tire could get enough traction to keep driving. We hit like a mud puddle. I'm like, shit, gotta lean here. Like, do I need to get out and push? But so we were in Tagbilaran, which is like the big city of Bohol, and we were trying to give someone a ride from the tailor shop, which they didn't have pants my size
No,
That's another.
you're much too
hysterical.
tall.
in
for,
the entire
yeah.
tailor shop.
Yeah.
So they're like, we'll make you custom pants.
Oh my god.
So they did my measurements, but like they were testing my shirt size. They went to put it on, but they couldn't reach to get it up over my shoulders.
Oh my
So when we
God.
tried the second shirt, I literally just had to kneel down so they could reach.
Oh, that's so funny.
And they were dying of laughter, but
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
sorry, I'm tall.
Wow.
But so they were trying to get a tuk-tuk ride from the tailor to the mall. And so they have basically their version of Uber. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically an Uber app for tuk-tuks. And they're like, oh yeah, it's like a 15-minute drive. Like it's like 66 peso, but you're splitting it 2 ways. So really it's only 33 peso because 2 people are on it. I'm like,
yeah.
you didn't have to try to explain to me that 66 peso was cheap. Could you imagine a 15-20-minute Uber ride across Chicago for $1.20?
No, you're paying $150 for that.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
that's
even like
crazy.
our hotel tuk-tuk was $100 a head.
Huh.
Sorry, 100 peso a head.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
$100.
So
It's like, hold on,
for
we're
me,
back. We're
for
back.
me to take a ride to the dive shop and back, which is 15 minutes of tuk-tuk driving each way, and it was $2.
How do you spell that? I have to look this up.
Tuk-tuk,
You don't know what a tuk-tuk
T-U-K.
is?
Yes, but I just want to. I want to
Yeah.
visualize.
Okay.
I can show you the
can
actual
show you the
picture
picture
of
of
the
the
tuk-tuk I rode in.
Yeah, that'd
So,
be great.
because is traffic really crazy? Like taking a car would take you twice as long, or what?
So they don't really do lane markings, and any
No.
lane markings they have are completely ignored.
Yeah,
Everything is considered a passing zone.
yeah.
Speed limits don't exist.
Cute.
Let me see.
It almost
that.
looks
Yeah.
like
though.
Scooby Doo colors.
It
Yeah,
does,
this
yeah.
right?
particular
Orange
one.
and
Scooby-
blue
the
and
little
yellow.
But yeah, so I
It's like
I
a
fit
mini
in that
motorcycle
thing.
bus.
Yeah.
with my dive gear. It was ridiculous.
Is there a motor? There's
Yes,
a motor,
so-
right? Okay.
so,
Or an engine.
um,
Well, I just-
Flintstone feeding
So,
That's what I'm
it.
so where the
wondering.
guy is sitting, he's actually on a dirt bike.
Yeah.
And that
Oh,
whole
yeah.
metal
That's
frame is welded
pulling
onto the
it.
dirt bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like a horse and carriage, but a
Yeah.
dirt bike
So
instead
he's
of a horse.
straddling
horse.
the
Yeah,
dirt-
he's literally straddling a dirt bike in the front, and then you're
Yeah.
just sitting in the back.
Yeah.
So there's 4 wheels. It's insane.
Did you see the guy who drove the tuk-tuk from like South America all the way up to
I
Canada?
heard about it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's pretty interesting
The
journey.
name comes from mimicking the sound of a small, often 2-cycle engine.
That
Tuck, tuck,
checks
tuck,
out.
tuck, tuck, tuck,
Yeah,
tuck,
so
tuck,
that's
tuck,
what-
tuck.
yeah.
So that's the.
Oh my god, I
That's-
could never
that's
eat
the-
He's
that.
showing us the little
Yeah,
teddy
the
bear.
little
I
teddy bear.
couldn't
Starbucks.
eat
Isn't
that.
It was
cute?
so adorable.
That is so cute.
Wow.
But yeah, Korean loves cutesy stuff.
So, why did you go to the Philippines?
So I had a wedding to go to. Though, as I've told many a person, I'm like, if anybody asks, I went on a dive trip. My friend just happened to get married while I was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Um, So I actually hit my new depth record. I was very proud of myself. I
Nice.
got to 105 feet underwater.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so crystal clear. I looked up and I'm like, if you told me 40 feet, I'd believe it. Because like you could still see the boat.
Yeah.
It was just
Wow.
crystal clear water. There was a turtle probably 5 feet around, just
Stop.
gracefully swimming through the water. They're so beautiful.
Did you see any octopus? Like
I did
always
not
get
see any
excited.
octopi.
I want to see
My grandma asked me
those.
the same thing. She's like, "Did you see an octopus?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah,
I
'cause
saw
they're so
a couple of
interesting.
seahorses, some sandworms.
Oh, cool. Wait, what's
Wait,
a
what's a
sandworm?
sandworm?
They're literally
Like
just
from
a worm that like
Beetlejuice?
sticks out of the sand like a candy cane. It's like an
Oh.
organic candy cane. They're weird.
Yeah.
And they're food for who? Anyone that finds them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the cutest thing I ever saw was there was a coral reef that was probably 4 feet across and just totally flat. And there was a school of about 100 dories, all of which were like an inch big.
Oh, cool.
They were just tiny. And I'm like, I can sit here till I run out of air and I'll be happy. This is so cute.
Did it look like they were forgetting where they were swimming?
Yeah. Which now I officially have been trained in fish identification for the Pacific, but I couldn't help it. I'm like, oh, look, a dory, a Nemo,
Yeah.
a gill.
Yeah.
I couldn't call them by anything
No.
else.
And what are they actually called?
So there's dory is a blue tang.
Yeah.
Nemo's a clownfish, but
Yeah.
it's usually called an anemone fish when in
Yes.
the Pacific.
Yes.
And then gill is an angelfish
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
or a
yes.
damselfish. I always
Did
forget
you
which
ever
one's which.
figure out that one that you told
No,
me about that you
no,
couldn't-
there's one. I love it. It's my favorite fish I've ever seen.
Oh,
It's
and you
so
haven't been
cool.
able to find it, right?
I've scrolled through
Can't
over 500 pictures
Oh
of
my
fish
God.
native to the
Yeah.
Pacific,
Can't
and I
figure
still
out
can't
who
find
it
it.
is, what it
Yeah.
is.
I talked to the dive master at the shop up here because he's been to the Philippines several times, and he's like, "Yeah, I have no idea what it is."
No.
So I don't know if it's like a fish stage, like this is just the
Oh,
juvenile stage, and then it
right.
changes to a different color.
Yeah.
But it was so beautiful.
That
Like,
was
I want
I
to
was
pet it.
I was deep sea fishing with Jay down in Florida, and we caught a fish. And our captain, he's like at least 4th generation Floridian, and he's like, I do not know what that is. I've never seen it. And so they're like, "We'll keep it," and he's like, "No. We take a picture and we put it back."
Not a native of Florida.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it was like Drew said, a stage
Yeah.
of something maybe
Yeah.
that he just
Maybe.
never seen
Yeah.
that size.
And
Yeah,
you never know. There's just
I never
so
thought about
much
that.
going
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
under
yeah.
We
under
really
there. We
don't
really
know.
don't know. You
Yeah.
know all the
I
different.
think I saw it where we know
matings
more
and-
about the surface of the moon than we know about our own
Yeah,
oceans.
right.
Did you do any shopping?
Yes. So I did go, and they are. So, and you don't even know the story yet. So,
Ooh.
the Philippines is a very Catholic country.
Okay.
Okay.
And sometimes you can forget about that. But like you'll drive around and like every street corner, there's just like a mini chapel.
Oh, okay.
But we're in the grocery store inside of a mall. And then there was like these bells that started chiming because it was, I don't know, like 5 o'clock or something. And then the whole store just stopped as across the entire mall, a novena started being prayed.
Oh,
Oh.
That's cool.
And I'm like, what's going on? Because it's a busy mall. You can think about it like where we used to work on a
Right.
Saturday
Right.
during Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what this
Tons
place
of
was like on a
people.
Tuesday
And
afternoon.
every single person stopped except for you because you weren't sure what was going on.
I
You were
stopped because I'm like,
looking
everybody
around.
else stop. What's going on? Something weird's
Tall
happening.
Drew's just sticking out, looking
Yeah.
around. What's going on?
I will tell you that store had, I think, literally 50 registers open.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Lucky
Must be
them.
nice.
Yeah. We
And
haven't
all
seen
of them
that
were
That
in
means
still
there's
full.
years.
50 people
Yeah.
Yeah.
ish.
And like it's really weird. You'd walk through grocery and they just like sell communion wafers on the shelf in the grocery
Get
store.
out.
The home goods store sold it too. It was
Are
insane.
they blessed?
No, I don't
Oh,
think they
okay.
can
No,
be.
they would not
Oh,
be
yeah.
blessed.
Yeah.
But like,
Kinda
there's just certain
sacrilegious.
things you see that you're just like, oh, that's normal here.
Oh, huh.
And it
Maybe
was
people
insane.
just really like them out there and eat them as snacks.
Yeah, maybe. But so the day after the wedding, we went to.
They're probably pretty low cal. They're pretty
I would think so.
Yeah.
You could probably have a couple.
Yeah, I can have a couple. I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
And so the day after the wedding, we went to a Catholic church in Anta. And
Wait, can I stop you real
Yeah.
quick? Okay, because you said you were getting pants made for you. So
Yes.
you got that made for you for the wedding?
yes.
And then, so did you wear like a traditional garment of the country, or do you have any
their
pictures?
traditional dress clothes are what we would consider dress clothes as well, right? They're just dress pants, button down
Okay,
shirt.
okay.
Because it still was a kind of blended wedding, right?
Okay.
There were some traditional garb, but not worn by me as a groomsman.
Okay.
So they have sponsors for weddings. So someone might sponsor the bride's dress. Someone
Okay.
might sponsor the groom's tux. And so they are honored as sponsors. So you have principal sponsors and secondary sponsors. Someone might pay for, there was like a dessert table at the reception. Someone sponsored the bar.
Oh, very
And so they
cool.
were honored as sponsors of the wedding. And there was almost like a kind of silk lace, yellowish gold shirt that they would wear on top of their normal dress clothes to
Okay.
identify them as a sponsor. The men would. I don't think there was anything specific for the women. But that was really the only.
I'd be walking up to people going, "What'd you buy?
Would you buy?
Yeah,
What'd you
Exactly.
buy?"
If,
brought
if
the
they
cake.
spoke English, I might
buy?
have.
Yeah, Drew was hunting down the guy that was
because
sponsoring the bar.
there were
Oh, dude, thank you.
there were 12 people at that wedding that spoke English fluently
Oh,
Oh wow.
that's a lot,
So,
though.
out of
I mean,
100.
But 12 people that you could talk to.
The-
That's
the-
Weren't
pretty
alone.
good.
The funny part, well, a lot of us traveled from the States, right?
Yeah.
The funny part was they paired me with the tallest bridesmaid for when we were walking in. So that way they would minimize the height difference.
Okay.
It didn't help.
I was going to say, and she was still 4'9".
So a good friend of mine that traveled with me for this wedding, she is an exact foot shorter than me. She is 5'4".
Yeah.
She was average height for all of the bridesmaids.
Wow. Yeah.
So I think the bridesmaid I got paired with, she was the tall one. She was 5'8".
Yeah.
She was the tall one and was mad because that meant she was stuck with me.
Yeah.
Whereas most of the other groomsmen were of normal people height.
Yeah.
They're like, can't we get the 5'10" guy instead?
Yeah.
And how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
6'4".
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and the groom was 6'5". So like, we're big
wow.
people.
Yeah.
Which the bride wanted to make sure that she was of appropriate height to the groom for dancing, for aesthetic reasons, for like the pictures. So she had literally 6-inch platform
out.
heels she was dancing in
I
for
would
this
just
wedding.
fall on my face.
I'm
I'd
like,
rather
how did
just
you
go
not
Who are you
step-
friends with? The groom? or
I'm
the
friends with
bride?
the groom.
With the groom.
Well,
okay.
I'm friends with the bride too, but
How
I met
did
the
you-
bride through the
How
groom.
did you know the groom?
Through Olivia, my dive buddy who traveled with me.
Oh, okay.
I met
Okay.
him through her.
Okay.
But yeah, it was insane. But say I don't think you've seen any of the pictures yet.
No,
so
because I'm not
I
on
have to show you what.
Facebook.
I don't know if yeah. So I have one more. I'll show you quick. It's not bad to not be on Facebook, but I will show you. It was the one I sent my coworkers when I'm like, yeah. So we originally stayed at one resort in Panglao, and then we moved to our main resort, which was in Onda. But I had to take this picture and send it to my coworkers. Just going, yeah, let me tell you, it is real roughing it. This is my room from the hotel window.
Oh,
Oh, it's
my
all
I wanted.
blue
I
and
know.
shit.
I'm like, he wakes up to this like.
Get out. I would
Hardly any
never
clouds,
leave.
all
I would
green,
never
blue.
leave.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'd be
So-
like, yep, I just live here now.
Uh-huh.
the
I-
clearest of pictures
Ah.
ever.
I landed Wednesday night, delayed, and then I went to my work on Thursday morning, and I looked at my boss. I go, "You are so lucky I came back.
Yeah.
I did not want to." And like the thing is, right?
You're like, we can start a work there.
Yeah. yeah.
Can we start
And
a
we
work
actually
there?
have partners that operate on that
Do
island.
you?
And I
See?
wanted to visit them, but just logistics, I couldn't get it to work to be able to stop by
Right.
and visit. But the main thing I loved, and I like rub it in my dad's face all the time, and I'm like, yeah, so massages there, it's $900 for a 90-minute massage.
Mm,
And I remind you, your $100 bill is like $2
yeah.
in US dollars.
Yeah.
A 90-minute massage is
Yeah.
$15.57.
This one.
Yeah.
I would give her
I
all
just
my
paid him
money.
£1,000. I had one where it was I think it was 700 peso for an hour massage, and I just gave her
Oh
a
my
thousand
gosh,
peso
yeah.
note, and I'm like, keep the change.
So
Yeah.
everything is very cheap there,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But how about the hotel?
And how about the
price.
quality of everything?
The quality was really good because the hotel we stayed at was very much catered to an American
Okay.
tourist.
Okay.
So there was definitely the quality. I fell in love with lumpiang baboy, which is like a Filipino egg roll. It's a pork-filled egg roll.
Oh,
and
did
they
you call
are-
her? I'm just kidding.
Mima
But
boy.
yeah, so
I'm okay
so
with that.
lumpia just describes the egg roll.
Yes. I know what
Um,
lumpia is.
Lumpiang
yes.
baboy is specifying that it's a pork one.
Okay.
And so I learned how to order that real quick.
Yeah.
I'd be like, lumpiang baboy, salamat po. And they'd be like, okay, here you go. So salamat po. So salamat means thank you. And then po is just kind of a general honorific.
Yeah.
So, when the server would bring you food, you could say salamat po. And so I was trying to learn a little bit of the language while I
Yeah,
was
Of
there.
course.
I don't know why, but the bridesmaids felt it so necessary to teach us weird words. So like instead of saying, oh my
course.
gosh, you say, oh my gulai.
Oh.
So
well,
at the
at
wedding,
least they weren't telling you like, "Oh, this means thank you," and really you're telling them to f off.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
You still may not know.
And then they decided to tell us how to say naughty, which is makalet. And it's the naughty you're thinking of too. Because she was like, "Do you have any naughty friends?" Because then you could call. I'm like, where is this conversation going? We are about to literally walk down an aisle for a wedding.
You're like, yes, I do. It's called the Clopen Effect. They are very naughty.
And so I'm amazed the videographers weren't yelling at us for just dying of laughter while like their sponsors are walking in and we're just cracking jokes.
Oh,
We
man.
need sponsors out here.
Who wants to sponsor us?
There we go.
Go to Zazzle and buy some merch.
There we go.
Do you still have the
we'll
Buy
give
Me a
you
Coffee?
a gold garb.
There we go.
We don't have. Well, we kind of do, but
Because I was looking the other day and you don't have Patreon
Yeah.
anymore, right?
No, because none of y'all signed up for it because you're all broke ass retail workers. It's all right. We still love
we
you.
had to go different directions.
Yeah. We still love you.
You know, when you first start, you try everything.
Yeah.
And you see what goes, and then you kind of have to take down some stuff that doesn't work. So that's
Yeah.
what we did.
Though you know what, Cass? I'm pretty sure what also helps you is if you share their shit.
Yeah.
SOS.
SOS. So bugs,
back on.
animals,
Total
what's out
shameless
there?
plug in the middle of this. So one of the other cool
bugs.
things, bugs wasn't really an issue.
Wait, did you have to get any vaccines to go there, like malaria or anything like that? No.
no vaccines.
Where do you fly into?
So I fly into Manila.
Okay.
So I had 7 flights total for this
Oh
trip.
my gosh, that gives
So
me
I
anxiety.
flew Chicago to San Francisco, had a layover in San Francisco, and then we departed at like 3 a.m. San Francisco time to fly to Manila. Once we landed in Manila, we had to wait for our flight to Panglao Island.
But
And that
Panglao
would've been a
Island, was
small-
that a small plane? Right?
I mean,
you were just going to
Yep,
say that.
yep.
it wasn't like a propeller because
Okay.
that's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
Because they called it puddle jumper, and I'm like, this thing's
Right,
got at least a jet
right.
engine, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't want to be in a plane that I weigh more than
Like,
the plane.
how many people do you think fit on
So
it?
it was a Boeing 737.
Oh,
so
okay.
it
good,
would still be like a regional jet, like
Yeah.
you were to take a flight out to like
Yeah.
Charlotte or Atlanta, something like that.
Right.
So it was still a real plane as far
Yeah,
as I'm concerned.
yeah.
It wasn't like I could see out the front.
Yeah.
And so we took that to Panglao, and then it was a 3-hour drive from Panglao down to the resort. That's why we stayed at the first resort for a day,
Yeah.
and then made the 3-hour drive. So then on the way back was Panglao back to Manila, but then we wanted to spend about a day and a half in Seoul, so we flew from Manila to Seoul.
Oh, cool.
Then we flew. That's where I saw the little teddy bear there.
Yeah.
And then flew from Seoul to LAX, and then LAX back to
Oh,
Chicago.
my gosh. That's
So
a
it was
lot
a
of
lot.
travel.
That's incredible.
One plane screwed up. So we landed in LAX because our plane left Seoul an hour late. An hour and 10 minutes after scheduled departure, we were still at the gate.
Oh, no.
So we landed in LAX late,
Right.
and we had a pretty short connection as it was. It was like a
Yeah.
2.5 hour layover.
Yeah.
And the
Which
plane
you
was
think
an
is
hour and-
plenty of time, but yeah.
But
when
we
you
still
get
had
a
to go through
layover.
customs and immigration too,
Oh,
because that was our port of
yeah.
entry.
I
So
didn't think
it
about
was
that.
doable in 2.5 hours, but it would have been really tight.
Yeah.
So we actually had complimentary priority luggage, so ours would be the first ones off the plane, so we weren't waiting forever at the carousel.
Right.
But when we landed, because we landed so late, we landed an hour and a half behind schedule. They literally said, no, we're not even going to let you try to make your plane.
Oh
your
my
plane actually
gosh.
left early.
Oh, no.
So we've rebooked you for the next available flight to Chicago from LAX at 11:55 p.m.
And what
Now-
time did you get there? At 3 a.m.?
We landed at 12:30 p.m.
Oh,
I'm like, you expect me to sit in
no.
LAX for 12 hours and you're going to give me a
no.
$20 voucher for food?
Oh,
Not
gosh.
happening, honey. So we get to the ticket agent. She works a minor fucking miracle and gets us put on standby for the 2:15 plane
Oh,
to Chicago.
good.
The person next to me who was on the same plane who got to the ticket agent first, she got put on the standby for the 5 o'clock flight.
Oh,
So, but we got put on the 2:15 flight, and we actually managed to clear standby. We made it to the plane. Our luggage didn't,
Oh.
and we knew that was a possibility.
Yeah.
Like our carry-on was with me, but my checked luggage.
you're like,
couldn't
whatever,
get
I'm
to the
home
plane.
now.
I'm
It's
like,
fine.
I'll be like, I'll tell you what, you get my
Drive
ass
back
in
to
Chicago today. I'll drive to O'Hare tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And that's exactly
If
what
my
you did.
yeah, I'm like, if my luggage doesn't make it till it's on the 12 o'clock plane, I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
I'll drive to O'Hare tomorrow morning. I'll
want to
pick
go
it
in
up.
my own
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah, and that's what it was. And so, shout out to her. I actually made sure I went in through the airline app, being like, she is absolutely amazing. Give
Very
her a
nice.
raise.
Good.
And the person I was sitting next to on the plane actually worked for the airline.
Oh.
As I'm talking about this, and I'm basically bitching out the airline. And then she's like, but I'm like, oh, but this gate agent, Noemi, she was absolutely amazing. Love her. I just want to make sure her manager knows how good she is.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I know who that is. I'm like, how do you know? She's like, oh, I work for the airline.
Oh, and you're like, oh, shoot. Oh.
But you know
no,
what?
I really like you guys. Don't put me on the no-fly list.
But my problem wasn't with the airline I was
Right.
flying, because it was part of an alliance of airlines,
Yeah.
and it was their partner airline that screwed up. Because if I'm leaving an hour late, I'm landing an hour late.
Yeah.
Rebook me before we take off.
Yeah.
Why are you rebooking me when I land?
See, because me and Johnny have had that happen where we
Yeah.
were already delayed. We went to the counter knowing our flight was already gone, and they were like, we already got you booked, and we moved you up to first class. And we were like, oh, hell
Okay.
yeah.
Works for me.
I wasn't that lucky.
No.
But I'm like, hey, I'm on a plane, and LAX to Chicago, a 4-hour flight isn't that bad after
Yeah.
you got off a plane for 14 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
4 hours ain't a big deal anymore.
I don't know if I can fly for that long. Just because you're just in such a confined space and yeah, you can get up and walk around, right? But it's just like, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a long time.
It is. It's a lot.
Overnight would be good for me because then you could sleep.
Yeah.
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 I
At
would have
least
to
for half
upgrade
of
to
it.
one of those really nice ones though that like you can actually lay down
the
in.
first class seats.
Yeah.
The nice thing is, even in the poor people seats, they still give you like a blanket and pillow. So it's nice. So you still have something.
I mean, you're 6'4", so and you were comfortable or not really?
So they by default give you a little bit more leg room on the international flights,
Okay.
like the long haul
Yeah.
transoceanic ones. But I also pay for the business plus, so that
Okay.
way I'm a little extra
You-
leg
you
room.
Yeah.
need-
Gets the extra check bag, stuff like
Yeah.
Plus,
that.
it's just healthier for you, I'm sure. Keep
Oh,
the
yeah,
blood
yeah.
flowing and stuff.
yeah.
You don't have
Instead of
anything
being
happen.
cramped up.
Yeah.
Like I hate the middle seat because you're like
Oh, I get the window
so
seat every time.
squished.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
try to get middle.
My problem
Or
is I need
edge.
aisle
Yeah.
because when I was in the window, if I had to go to the bathroom, I had to make 2 other people
Oh,
get
that's
up.
definitely why I sit in the aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aisle's much better for that.
Yeah.
I never usually have to pee on the plane, so I always take window
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'll never
I
disturb
mean, a
anybody.
14-hour flight, you have to eventually.
Yeah,
That's the
that
problem.
I would. Yeah,
Because I usually
Yeah.
try not to, but I usually wait till everybody's asleep because then the lavatories are actually open.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Wild, cool. Sounds like you had a
Wow.
great time.
It was. I
Amazing.
want to
So
go
what's
back.
next?
School.
School.
I start school on Monday.
Oh my gosh.
Not looking forward to it.
Are you gonna hold up a little chalkboard? This is my grade and my teacher.
Aw,
These
No.
are my favorite colors and favorite foods.
I
Oh,
am
you
not.
ruined the surprise. I was going to make him do that Monday before I left to go to work. Drew's first day at NIU.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So you have traveled quite a bit
Yes.
this past year or so. You have a favorite?
Um.
Or is every experience unique? And
Yeah,
so
I
you
think
can't
that's a
really
lot of
pick?
it. So like, because my coworker got disappointed in me because I was like, oh, because he loves Korean culture and he really is looking forward to wanting to go to Korea. And I was like, oh, that's actually not my favorite one. Like that was probably my least favorite. But I think it's because Korea was truly the first foreign country I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I was in quite a few countries this year, but it was when I was in Germany and Austria and Switzerland, most people spoke English.
Yeah.
A lot of the signage was in English. Most people that were there spoke English. When I was in the Philippines, I was with native speakers who also were fluent in English. So I could always have people that I could have that conversation with to
Right.
understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to Seoul, none of the signage was in English outside of the airport. Very few people spoke English outside of the airport. And so it was the first truly foreign experience that I had. And
Yeah.
I think that I didn't like it because it was the most uncomfortable for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like Google Maps does not even work in Korea.
No, yeah,
You actually had to download a separate app
yeah.
to be able to navigate Seoul.
Yeah.
And it was just so different and so foreign with no sense of familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was my least favorite, I think, because of that, where it truly forced me to expand my horizons and my views of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, I love Germany for the history. You have every town has museums and just such, like Switzerland had the Rhine Falls. That was so gorgeous. But, Europe's just so old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Philippines is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
I will tell you, there's nice things to see on the land. Don't get me wrong, but the water of the Philippines, a whole other world. When we're done recording, I'll show you the video. There was a team of divers that was with us one day, and they had a camera to record, and I can show you the video from it. It was just beautiful.
Amazing.
You
It's
just
like National Geographic stuff.
yeah, And it's truly one of those, like, I can't believe I get to see this.
Yeah.
Because, like, 100 feet down, you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
But
right,
it's the
right.
whole other world that you get to see. And it was so beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, I love old churches. So both Germany and in the Philippines, they just have these gorgeous churches. Philippines has a lot of hand-painted ceilings, like think Sistine Chapel, but that's the standard.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just absolutely gorgeous, hand-painted. And like it's just so beautiful.
Does it really make you look at life differently, right? After you travel out of the U.S. Yeah.
And it's truly one of those things where it's, and like especially in the Philippines, where you have those extremes of wealth and poverty literally next to each other, and you realize like to not take for granted everything we have here in the States, right? Like it was one of those things where like I felt uncomfortable to not finish my plate because I know there's people in 2 doors down that aren't eating.
Yeah.
I think it made me really know the difference between needs and wants after traveling. Yeah.
Necessities.
Yeah.
And like they just are so good at making do with what they have.
Yeah.
And they're happy with it.
Yeah.
That's all they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I think less is more, you know?
I agree.
We overindulge here in the good old U.S.
Yeah.
of A.
We do.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for joining
Yeah.
us and bringing Mom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Judy.
Thanks for bringing
Amazing.
half of yourself here.
The next time I come, I'm not bringing more meal.
No, we never expect to see the whole you. We're happy with the half of you.
It's
Yeah,
half of me.
that's perfect.
Because you can actually do the weight loss thing where you can fit in one of your pant legs, right?
Stop.
And it's like I can do that and hold it out like way out.
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh.
I still have my other pants, and I wear them as like pajama pants.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I take a hair tie and I like pull it out and I rubber
Go
band.
buy yourself some
and
new
then-
pajama
well,
pants.
Well, I have gotten some, but I kind of
We have a friend of
just
ours that
messing
took
with
her
you.
out shopping
when
when
I'm
she had lost the
when
weight.
I'm having like a day where I feel
Yeah.
like
Of course.
You're like,
yeah.
remember
That-
this?
Yes, like
yeah.
I'm not going back to that.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
for you.
Good
You
for
know,
you.
Tops-
Congratulations.
Yeah, dresses. You know, my
Yeah.
tops are dresses now. The ones
Incredible.
I used to wear. Yeah, the
That's
tunics.
awesome.
Yeah.
Just add a belt to it. Go to work.
I do. They're kind of cute little mini dresses now.
That's good.
Well, thanks to both.
Thanks for sharing
course.
all of your
Yeah,
experiences with us.
Number 5 already. Holy
Oh,
cow.
y'all got some visiting to do.
I literally, when we were at the mall, I was like, listen, I don't care about anything else. I need to go inside this grocery store because I'm on a podcast when I get back and I need to talk about grocery stores, okay? We are going in this store.
He's doing
and
homework
they had
for
50
us.
cashiers. Can you believe that?
Jeez.
Two, like, 20,
would
there's like
never.
25 or 30 at each entrance.
We
Ugh.
would
It was
never.
insane.
My gosh. I'm going to go
We're
cry
like,
now.
you check yourself out. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Talk to you next week.